Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video, we're going to do another one of our little wish listing videos. We're going to look ahead at what we hope to see in Age of Sigmar 3rd edition and maybe in the near future for a bunch of particular factions. And today we're going to be starting to look at all the Chaos factions in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and we're going to start off with a personal favourite of mine, the Skaven. Skaven are an army that I think is one of the most iconic things Warhammer has ever created. They're probably the most sort of Games Workshop's own creation out of anything that existed in Warhammer Fantasy, and they feel right at home in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. That being said, there's a bunch of stuff I feel that Skaven could need, whether that be models, rules, lore, and some other stuff. So what I want to do with today's video is we're going to look at 10 things I'd like to see in Age of Sigmar 3rd edition for Skaven. Let's get cracking into the list. Number 1, get rid of Finecast and metal models from the Skaven range. Now, I don't believe there's any worse offender than Scryer Acolytes in this particular section that we're talking about here. They're in Australian, I believe they're $22 a model, which is ridiculous. $220 to get them. They're not particularly great models. They were cool back in the day. I mean, they were some of my very first Skaven models I ever got, but I'd like to see a bunch of the Finecast and the metal models all updated, get brand new sculpts, get plastic kits. I feel with this we could get a bunch of brand new models as well. And we can have some multi-kits. I mean, you could easily make a weapon team multi-kit that gives you any of the weapon team variations in the same kit. Be really cool to have that particular kit available. Scryer Acolytes as a unit, you know, maybe they could combine with something else. Looking at getting the characters like the Arch Warlock in a new plastic sculpt would be really nice as well. There's a ton of stuff that Skaven need updated in, that is Finecast and metal, that needs updating to plastic. They're one of the ranges with a very heavy amount of their range in metal and Finecast. Number 2, and the first of 2 clans that I'm going to talk about, I'd love to see a Clan Moulder expansion. This is one of my favourite 2 clans in the Skaven, and I really do think that not only do they need some updated models, particularly Rat Ogre and Giant Rats kit, definitely needs those 2 units to be separate and have the models available. You know, it'd be nice to get a Giant Rat kit that gives you 20 Giant Rats in a go, so we no longer have to have these weird 6 model units that we're having now. And Rat Ogres, you know, it may be a 3 model box or something like that, so they're no longer in the 2s, though, you know, the 2s are advantageous at the model. It would be nice to see them get an updated sculpt looking much more like the models we saw in the Island of Blood kit rather than the current plastic kit, which has the older models. It's a shame those Island of Blood ones disappeared. But also, I think Moulder's one of those ones where we can expand a lot into, and I mean, we've seen things like the Hell Pit Abomination get added in the late editions of Warhammer Fantasy, and also, technically, they are Moulder creations as much as Scryer creations, the Storm Fiends. But I think we could see, like, massive monsters come. We could also see, like, Skaven Cavalry, see Wolf Rats, and maybe some Wolf Rat Cavalry for Clan Moulder, see a new Packmaster model, or a new Master Moulder, rather, model in plastic would be awesome. And also, like, while we're talking about going big, like, why not, like, a rat dragon? Like, imagine, like, a giant rat mutated dragon. It would be amazing, I think. And, of course, I did mention a second clan. That, of course, would be Clan Eshin. I'd love to see an expansion of the Assassin Rat clan, and sort of give us an idea a little bit more about exactly who they are and what they can provide to a Skaven army. Night Runners and Gutter Runners, obviously getting a dual kit that can build you either model is something that I think is a no-brainer here. Also, new Assassin models, maybe a new Master Assassin as well, Deathmaster model, and maybe bringing back the Death Runner as well that we had for a time in thanks to Warhammer Quest Silver Tower. I'd also like to see maybe some more stuff come out for them. I'm not exactly sure what I want to see from the Clan Eshin, in all honesty. They're not as much my favourite as, say, Moulder is, and I really don't know how we expand them. So these are one of the ones where I know I want to see more from them, I'm just not sure what I want to see more of them from. So I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below of what exactly you'd like to see from Clan Eshin to make them a more fully fledged clan, on par with, you know, our plans to expand Moulder that we just mentioned, and also the Clan Scryer and the other clans as well, the Clan Pestilence range. Number 4, tell us more about Thanquol, Greyseer Thanquol, and his trusty companion Bone Ripper in Age of Sigmar. Thanquol is a named character for Skaven, but really we don't know exactly what he's doing. There's not a lot of lore going on about Thanquol's sort of behaviours in the mortal realms outside of the sort of snippets we've really gotten inside the Slayer novels featuring around his arch nemesis Gotrek, or at least who Thanquol believes is his arch nemesis Gotrek. I really would love to see more of this character in the main narrative, like push him as that major figurehead for the Horned Rat, for Skaven as a whole, and just give us that idea of like Skaven having a major part to play, and Thanquol being that major player that's plotting and scheming, and put him on, you know, he doesn't need to be as powerful as some of these other characters, but he needs to be making himself look as powerful by how mischievous and conniving and cunning he is as a character. Really interesting character you can add to throw in and mix up the major players and shake up that big sort of big fighters cage that we have with all the big players in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Number 5, change how Skaven Battleline works. Now, this, I think, turns a ton of different Skaven army lists into much more competitive options just by simply changing how we work Battleline in Skaven. Lore-wise, clan rats and storm vermin exist in absolutely every clan. This is even the clans that have their own specialty units, things like Plague Monks for Clan Pestilence, and Moulder and Scry and Eshin all have clan rats in their ranks. They may be a little bit different than clan rats in, say, a Warlord clan or something like that, but they do exist in every clan, and I really don't like how the Skaven Battleline have to work, where if you include clan rats in an army, they all of a sudden you lose that sort of pure Battleline option to get Plague Monks. I think just simply changing to, if you have a Plague Priest General, you get to take Plague Monks as Battleline. If you have an Arch Warlock General, you get to take Scry Acolytes. You get to take Night Runners if you have a Deathmaster. There's a much better way of doing Skaven Battleline, or something like that. I don't think this whole taking clan rats, all of a sudden you need to take 60, is a really fun way to do Battleline. Nor is it even the most narrative way. It'd be cool to, you know, be able to run 2 units of 20 clan rats and then a unit of 20 plague monks, and there's your Battleline options taken. It would be a really fun way to do Battleline for like a 2,000 point list, and a much better way, I think, than how we currently do it. Number 6, make the Horned Rat a true Chaos God. Now I know we've got that pantheon of 4, and it's a thing, but I really think that we need to make the Horned Rat a true Chaos God. Stop this whole, he's only there because Slaanesh went missing stuff. I really want him to be a major player and be on par with the other Chaos Gods. I think this all of a sudden elevates Skaven and their purpose in the mortal realms to that much bigger and better an option. It makes them that bigger threat that, like, say, things like Khorne and Tzeentch and Slaanesh and Nurgle all are in the mortal realms, if you give the Horned Rat that ability to sort of be on par with those other Chaos Gods. Now, he shouldn't be as outrightly powerful to like challenge Khorne and fight and win in a duel, etc. He's never going to be that character. But I'd love to see this scheming, underhanded tactics that the Horned Rat does on that level, that he can actually sort of get one over the Chaos Gods, the other 4 Chaos Gods rather, potentially. And so I think the issue with this is maybe it comes into conflict with Tzeentch a little bit. But I don't think it needs to. Well, Tzeentch is always like planning this extra step ahead, and always knows all particular fates and is sort of, you know, meticulously planning. The Horned Rat doesn't meticulously plan. Doesn't meticulously plan his own plans. He sets up others to fail to allow him to take advantage. And it's those underhanded tactics of, you know, going, hey, Khorne, Slaanesh called you something nasty, and all of a sudden Khorne goes, beats up Slaanesh, and he sort of manipulates the other Chaos Gods to fight in amongst themselves so his power is elevated. I think this is just a really interesting thing we can do with the Horned Rat to make Skaven as a whole that much more a bigger threat in the mortal realms. And point 7, continue on the point I was talking about the Horned Rat just then. Well, rat demons. All the other Chaos Gods have these demon armies available to them as well as their mortal followers. Why shouldn't Skaven? I'd love to see lesser rat demons to sort of fight and work alongside the Vermin Lords and have them as these sort of underlings that the Vermin Lord directly controls. I'm not exactly sure where this or what this actually looks like, but I think it could be something really cool to give Skaven those new units that's maybe not sort of just upping up another clan. I think it's a really interesting sort of look that we could go for, make that Vermilord sort of look, but smaller and more sort of cunning and sneaky. And maybe you have particular rat demons from each clan as well, so you can have like Eshin rat demons that are like shadowy demons. You can have, say, Moulder demons, which are all like weird looking, mutated, and you can have like these plague rat demons, and you could also have, you know, for Scry, you can have these weird sort of technological looking machine demon things. It's a really interesting thought I had, and I'd really love to see like rat demons explored in the Skaven army. Next, number 8, I'd love to see clan-specific named characters. This is something we had back in Warhammer Fantasy. We had a Kickclaw for Clan Scry, you had Throt the Unclean for Clan Moulder, you even had like a generic Warlord sort of named character in Quick Headtaker, a fan favourite. And I'd love to see these named characters come back. No, not necessarily, I don't want to see Throt or Quick or any of the other named characters come back. But I'd like to see named characters for those particular factions, so that, you know, Thanquol is our master clan named character. We've got a named character, Vermin Lord. Well, why not a Skaven Warlord that's a named character? And maybe you could just push the Underworld's character to the next level on that. But you could also, you know, a Arch Warlock that's a named character, or a Plague Priest or Plague Furnace that's a named character, etc. I think really all of these could be some really interesting sort of characters to add and just further up the narrative of Skaven in Warhammer Age of Sigmar and give them that little bit a bigger place in the mortal realms. Number 9, clans and subfactions. Now, this idea takes a little bit of reworking in how the Skaven army actually works. Now, an army I think that has a good blueprint for how we could actually do Skaven armies in the future is Seraphon. I really do like that how when you choose Seraphon, you choose to either be the Coalesced or the Starborn, and I think we could do something similar with Skaven. So I think when we start to pick Skaven armies, you could potentially be looking at maybe going like, oh, cool, do I want to be a Warlord clan, or do I want to be a Clan Eshin, Clan Scry, Clan Pestilence, or Clan Moulder clan? And so this gives you your overarching sort of clan that gives you the rules based on what you're playing. Now, the Warlord clans will potentially be a lot more Clan Rat and Storm Vermin and your generic sort of stuff heavy, but they're able to take in bits and pieces of the other, while, say, a Pestilence clan focuses heavily on Pestilence units, but also gives you access to the Warlord clan stuff as well. The benefit of Warlord clans being they can take everything from all the other clans, while a Clan Pestilence clan, while it unlocks you, say, Battleline stuff, it might restrict you in being not able to take anything like Scry. So this is getting the best out of both worlds, doing what I want with changing up the Battleline and allowing Clan Rats and Storm Vermin like they are narratively in every clan, but also keeping your Warlord clan strong and making them a viable option for that, being that mixed sort of Skaven arms army. What you could do, like how Seraphon do, is when you play, say, the Coalesced, you can either go into, I forget one of the names of them, but you can go into the Thunder Lizard subfaction as well, and they have subfactions underneath that are specific to each one of these sort of first subfactions, and then you have subfactions of the subfactions, if that makes sense, underneath them. So first you would pick, say, Clan Eshin, and then you might have the choice between a couple of Thrall clans of either being, oh, do you want to be, say, Clan Slink? Or you could be, say, Clan Scryer, and do you want to be, say, Clan Scurvy underneath that as well? And have these subfactions have additional options for you to be able to play in, while maybe giving you like these different bits and pieces and seeing and bringing to life more clans, because there are hundreds and hundreds of different clans out there that we could be using. I mean, I've got one pictured here from the Skaven Heraldry book that came out in Warhammer Fantasy Times for Clan Vulcan, which are literally like volcano living Skaven. They're pretty cool. But you've also got like other ones, like I mentioned, Scurvy, which are pirate Skaven. You've got things like Mordkin, which are undead eating Skaven and stuff like that. I think there's a ton of cool things that could come from using clans and subfactions in that particular way, similar to Seraphon. And number 10, Path to Glory, as I've mentioned in some of the other videos, is one of the things that I am getting really excited for with the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. I think we have a couple of unique opportunities to do some really cool Skaven things here. First of all, I'd love to see scavenge rules. So, say, defeating enemy armies, being able to take their artifacts off them, steal them and corrupt them, and even some of the units. I mean, wouldn't it be cool to have like scavenge rules in there for capturing a Caradron's Overlord's Ironclad and converting it up for your Skaven army? That'd just be amazing, I think. Or, maybe being able to do this to artillery and war machine units would be really cool. Or even Clan Moulder being able to bind monsters from other armies and corrupt and mutate them in the vats that they have that just make these weird and monstrous creatures. I'd also like to see backstabbing rules, or the potential of like when your general dies, your next one takes up the like sort of place of him and becomes your warlord. Or potentially if your warlord like fails to in a challenge or something he's got, that your next highest ranking Skaven model underneath him actually stabs him in the back and becomes your leader now and actually kills off your warlord. I think this would be a really interesting thing to do mid-campaign with your Skaven and have like these accidents happen when you go, oh, well, my warlord failed that game. Oh, my warlock engineer just killed him and is now taking control of my army. I think this is a really interesting thing we could bring with Path to Glory, and this is what Path to Glory for me is all about. Love to see these sort of rules for both Scavenge and Backstabbing added to Path to Glory for Skaven. So, what are your thoughts on Skaven? What would you like to see happen for Skaven in the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar? What are some models you want to see? What are some lore things you want to see progress? And what do you want to see in Path to Glory for Skaven as well? I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on this. I think it's a really exciting time for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what the future brings. Well, thank you all for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Also, while you're at it, why not come chat more with us on Discord? We've got a link in the description of the video below to our Discord server. You can come chat with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming. Lastly, we'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel in various different ways. First of all, to our Patreon members, Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lowe, Outer and Shot First, James Crowder, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, Tim Newman, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, MJ, and Dyna226. Thank you to, as well, our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Fire Titan, Steve T, The Real Zeot, Chris Wallace, Turriot12, Vinny, and Loch Lorick. And a special thanks to our artist who does all the channel art for us, Lady Witchfox Art, thank you very much. And to our Discord moderator, Xmorphic, you do a fantastic job on Discord for us as well. Thank you all, everyone, for watching. If you'd like to help support on Patreon or YouTube member, or help support the channel in another way, you can do so by following one of the links in the description of the video to Patreon or YouTube members, or go buy some Sinful Gaming merch from our Teespring store, also linked in the video's description. That's it for today, everyone. Thank you again. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.